Hello, you guys. Pietro from mcp-use here. Today I wanted to show you as the final part of this release week how to create an mcp-use app that is compatible with the App SDK from ChatGPT and therefore release your app on the ChatGPT App Store. So here's the beautiful documentation that we wrote, and basically it has everything you need to get started. Today we're going to look at this quick start with the Create mcp-use app. Let me just run this in a terminal. And this will create all the files you need to get started and to create this app that you can then publish on ChatGPT. Here we are. So we're already starting our app with our beautiful inspector that it's mounted automatically on the app so that we can test whatever we're doing. So let me go back 1 second to the terminal here. Let me go inside the repository and show you what it's there. So let me open a cursor up. Here we are. So you see that we have a resource folder. We have an index file where we basically define our tools as you're used to it. We have some documentation in place so you can follow along. But the cool thing is that we put all the resource file, the UI resources inside this resources folder. You just have to define a couple of variables, and that will define how the language model can interact with this particular resource. And then you have just a UI element here with the React syntax. So let me show you, for example, as I say, we can run our app with run dev, and this will immediately create an inspector where we can test it. Let me put this on the side and show you. So let me close this down. All right. Inspector is here, and as you can see here, we see all the tools, and we can call, for example, this with San Francisco to see what's the weather there, and this is going to show the UI element, right? And the cool thing that we did, which is very useful for developers, is that we can change this app in place, and we're going to have auto reload of the UI resource, so you can see immediately how it's going to look as displayed by a chat interface. So for instance, say make it dark. And we can immediately see that the thing will turn dark. And we can even ask some more complex things. Since the UI is interactive, we can ask, please make a switcher between Fahrenheit and Celsius. And if this cheated model works, then we're going to be able to do this. You see, and you can interact with the element. So this is all you need to get started. And from here, you can modify this UI element to be whatever you want. Let me show you how to get started even quicker. Since to deploy this on ChatGPT, you're going to have to deploy the whole application. Does not accept local host, of course. We made it very easy for you to deploy it real quick. So you can go to the templates in our repository, and you'll find the 3 templates that we provide. There's one there's one for the App SDK, the one that we're working on. There's a mcp UI one, and there's a started, which only has normal tools. So let's go into App SDK, which is the one that we're working on now, and you can just click deploy, and this will bring you to a page where you can deploy this on mcp-use cloud. You're going to have to log in. I'm already logged in here. And this is cloning the repository into your profile so that you can then start working on it and modifying it and make it your own. But here we are building the app. There you have it. So as you see, the deployment is now live and you can check it out in the inspector. What I think is more interesting to see deployed on ChatGPT actually. So let me find, there it is. This is our deployment. So let me put it full screen. We have here the deployment. Of course, you can check the build runtime logs and everything. Let's go on ChatGPT, and you have to go here in the settings and have apps and connectors, and we're going to create an app called the weather widget. Description, it gives the weather, and we paste in the URL you can find in the deployment, that you just created. There it is. So this is going to be the URL you want your app to point to. Here we are. We don't have any authentication. I understand. So we're going to create our app. This is going to take a few minutes. ChatGPT is usually checking let's say the authenticity of your app. And now we can actually call our app from ChatGPT. You just have to enable it here. Weather widget. And we can ask what is the weather in San Francisco. So you see here, we're passing the prop to the UI element we created in our mcp-use server, which is the city, and it's San Francisco in this case. And we have our beautiful widget showing up in ChatGPT. It is very helpful. This is just, of course, a toy. Super happy to see what you guys are building. We spend a lot of time and effort building so that it's so easy for people to develop and build and create these applications. I hope you guys like it. Thank you so much, and talk to you in the next one.